Do the countdown. There we go. All right, guys, we are here and we're ready to rock and roll. Listen.
As the evening falls, the world begins to glow. Softly falling snowflakes in a silent, gentle flow. Children's laughter, ringing carols fill the air. In this joyful moment, love is everywhere. Oh, dream of Christmas, bringing joy and light. Oh, dream of Christmas, let your heart take flight tonight. The tree is shining brightly, ornaments aglow. Stories shared by the fire, in the warmth of hearts we know. With every song we sing, memories intertwine. In the spirit of the season, everything feels fine. Oh, a dream of Christmas, bringing joy and light. Oh, a dream of Christmas, let your heart take flight tonight. Through the echoes of our past, we find a way. In the magic of this night, we'll always stay. Hand in hand we'll cherish every smile. In the glow of love we'll linger for a while. Oh, a dream of Christmas, bringing joy and light. Oh, a dream of Christmas, let your heart take flight tonight. So trees shining brightly, ornaments aglow. Stories shared by the fire, in the warmth of hearts we know. With every song we sing, memories intertwine. In the spirit of the season, everything feels fine. With the echoes of our past, we find a way. In the magic of this night, we'll always stay. Hand in hand, we'll cherish every smile. In the glow of love, we'll linger for a while. Oh, a dream of Christmas, bringing joy and light. Oh, a dream of Christmas, let your heart take flight tonight. Through the echoes of our past, we find a way. In the magic of this night, we'll always stay.
You can end it there. You can end it there. You can end it there. But the song does go on. But anyway, welcome to Chance's Chat and Friends, guys. Of course, I'm Doc G, Chance McFadden, and of course, Brian is here. Fascinating Brian. Welcome to Chance's Chat. This may be for entertainment purposes, but it also may not be.
Hey, hey, hey. Got news? I got news. I'm going to repeat something that I did on Tuesday, but I've got some other news. It's very, very interesting, okay? And I'm not going to give it all at the beginning, but I'm going to give you a taste, okay? Wyatt, Captain Marvel Jr., sends his regrets, and he still may be on later if he gets his internet fixed, okay? So I got dogs all around me. Mickey's not here to take care of the dogs and give them love. Hi, Amazon Redhead. And I got all the dogs just, I don't know. They must have liked that song, Doc. They must, the dogs are all over here. They're all over here.
So cool.
Four or five of them here. Anyway, they like that song, I think. So I'm going to give you a taste of the intel, okay? Well, hi, Francis. It's good to see you. I'm Chance. That's Doc. And that's Fascinating Brian. And you will find out just exactly how fascinating he is as the show goes on. Wyatt's going to try to join us, Captain Marvel, that is. And I'm going to tell you, I've said this before, but you really need your RV protocol papers. If you don't have them, send me an email to chancemusic@yahoo.com. I will be on the computer for a half hour after the show is over, and I will be able to send them out to you right away. They're $50, Cash App, or Wise. We're no longer accepting Zelle. Bank of America, here's an intel tip. Bank of America is just about ready to go, which is what we want. We want that. We want them all to go down. Now, intel from Captain Marvel, Wyatt, from Australia, just fresh an hour ago. Listen to what I'm saying. Pay attention, because I don't want to have to repeat this, and don't ask 50 questions on the Telegram page about the same thing. I'm only going to say this one time, and that's now, okay? I have to repeat myself so many times I wish I was cloned. Fascinating Brian knows the feeling. So anyway, your yellow dragon bonds may not be legit. Now, don't freak. Don't freak. This is coming from Wyatt. Okay? But you invested in them with good intentions, with pure intentions. If they are not legitimate, there's a possibility you could do a currency exchange on them anyway at a minimal rate. Don't throw money away. The Yellow Dragon bonds was a, what do I want to say? A project of, you know that guy that has the ears like this in the Marvel, and he's got the claws, and he, you know who I'm talking about? What's that Marvel character called? Oh yeah, Wolverine. Yeah, Wolverine. Yeah. So this is a creation of Wolverine, and it may not be legit, but they don't. All is not lost. They are supposed to be. You ready for this? This is from Captain. They are supposed to be green dragon bonds. Okay. Do not throw your yellow dragon bonds away. There's a real good chance that you're going to get something out of them. Okay. We're telling you this so you do not spend any more money on any Yellow Dragon bonds from eBay, Amazon, or anybody else, okay? Now, I'm not repeating that. So if anybody asks questions about that, again, on the Telegram page, and I see those questions come up, I'm going to delete them because we're getting too much garbage on the Telegram page. I'm trying real hard to keep the Telegram page open for you guys, okay? Because it's the one way we can communicate all the time. And we had a brother, Ken, who was saying, I'm tired of all these lies and all this. Why can't everybody tell the truth? Well, you see, I'm going to address this, okay? And nobody's going to address this any better than me. I'm going to just tell you that right now. When you have a problem with your driver's license, you go to the Driver's License Bureau. When you have a problem with your property tax, you go to the county clerk. When you have problems with your RV, you come to me. Okay? Guess what? I am not the division of RV. I am not the guy, I am not the expert. I'm the guy that gets a little bit of information filtered down from the top. And just remember, I'm still the janitor. Okay? I'm still the janitor of the White Hats. And here's another thing, big intel, big intel. Okay, I just found this out. Okay, General Steve, quiet. General Steve is sick. He has not been able to return my calls. I'm very upset. He's a very good friend, and he verifies a lot of things for me. I did get a text message from the quiet from the other. I did get a text message from the other general who has a couple times talked to me. Okay, I can't mention his name. What is the Telegram page? We'll put the link up here in a minute. Okay. So anyway, can you put the link up over in the chat, Doc?
I'm trying to. Here it is.
Okay, it's on the chat. Doc's putting it up. Okay, but the other general calls. He says Steve's very short text. Steve's sick, and I just answered back with question marks, and he said, "Not good." Not liking that. Okay. Then I text back one more time and I said medbed. And I haven't heard anything back. So General Steve, wherever you are, however you're feeling, brother, if anybody deserves getting a medbed, it's you. Because you've been out there in the trenches. You've been rocking and rolling. And the Telegram page is called Chances Live Chat Group 2, but you will not find it on search. It's a private group. That's why Doc's put the link up over in the chat. Okay. Yes. Will my wife's account here in Florida flip with my VND? Yes, but you got to leave it alone, Greg. Okay. You got to just leave it alone. One day you're going to go on there and you're going to see that your $1 million is now worth $2 million in US dollars, and you're going to be, it's going to be over for you. Bob's going to be your uncle. And you're going to be able to go out and buy whatever you want. Just remember, safety is security first. Okay. Okay. By the way, that was a plug for your song. Bob's your uncle and his name is Bill.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I always thought that was a cute song. I like that. Well, maybe we'll play that. Anyway, what happens to the Bank of America? Well, the same thing that's going to happen to all the banks. Okay, that's what's happening. They gotta fail. Yeah, he's under an NDA. Yeah, I wonder how that works. Okay, Jordan, that's a good question. And let me ask you this: how do you put an Android under an NDA?
Can't.
I'm listening. How do you do that? How do you put an Android under an NDA? Oh, wait a minute. You can't. So, Kent Dunn and I both were under an NDA over a year ago. And that's because it was very, very close to happening back then. But now, with Trump in, it's all balls to the walls. Okay, guys? Okay. Any info on Big Pharma threatening to poison aspirin across the globe if med beds are at? I doubt it. I think it's fear porn. Okay? Now, I'm not saying it's not possible, but use your discernment. Okay, you guys got to remember now. Here's where we are. I've been saying this before, but we are in the. Okay, just imagine you have cornered a cockroach, a big one, big cockroach in the corner. You got him trapped. He can't go anywhere. And the next thing that's going to happen to that cockroach is your heel of your foot is coming down on it, and he is going to be gone. Okay? Well, that cockroach knows your heel's coming, and he's going to do everything he can to fight back. Okay? Even though it won't do him any good, he's still going to do anything that he can. Like a cornered animal. They sense death coming, and they know it's inevitable. Okay. So it's fear porn as far as I'm concerned. Now, if you are concerned about that, I would I don't know what I would do. What would you do, Brian? What would you do if you're concerned about that?
Put horse blinders on intentionally. Don't give it any attention. It's just pure and simple. I mean, so the astral is more active. I would say probably more active than before through a lot of this garbage. They're starving for attention, a feeding frenzy of roaches on the astral side. They want to taste everything. It's not just their favorite flavors. They're desperate for energy. A lot of these entities know that the game board's going to change, so they're trying to survive it, knowing that they're not going to be able to survive it. If you're feeling drained by family members, it's not because of your family. It's because of the attachments your family has. There's a lot of probably telling stories. I bet a lot of you have fantastic stories, nonsensical stories with idiocracy galore. And I'll tell you what, Chance has got an amazing story with idiocracy written all over it. And I'll let him tell it as a perfect example of how a beautiful family is going to have Christmas. Go for it, Chance.
Oh my God. You gonna set me up for this, are you really? Okay.
Why not?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know. I thought maybe you were mad at me or something. Then
No, it has merit. It really does.
Okay, yeah, it does. Okay. My wife's in a nursing home. Everybody knows that, and she is putting the yes, Wise account is in Australia. She's been putting the pressure on to come home. She's been there a year. And in nursing home lingo, you have to be able to transfer from the wheelchair to the bed, from the bed to the commode. How will we get our funds at the bank's closed? Two different things. You're too early, Curly. You're too late. No, you're late to the game. We'll try to go over that again. Pull that up later on. Okay, Doc? Pull that question up later on.
You got it.
Okay, so we had a meeting today. Okay, we had a meeting today, and my wife's physical therapist says, you can't stand, you can't use your legs, you can't nothing. Every time you make any progress, you fall backwards. And I felt so bad for her. And I know that, okay? I know that. But if she was to come home, it would literally physically kill me and my son both. And why she wants to even consider it is completely selfish on her part. And I would want to come home too if I was in a nursing home. So I understand her thing. Hi, Sal, how are you? And so we had a meeting, and she looks at me and she says, you won. You won. No, I want the best care that you could get. End of story. I'm not it. Mickey's not it. Our daughter's not it. So they come up with this wild idea that she's going to come home for Christmas. I'm fine with that. I have no problems with it. I'm telling you what, when you move a couple 100 pounds of dead weight up 6 steps, and they're very, very, I'm going to use the word fluid, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. Lots of fluid moving. And how are you going to manipulate that even for one day? And I don't even know that my daughter has enough people to even move her. We had 3 people moving her, trying to get her in the car, and it barely worked. And so going up 6 steps and everything, well, they got this idea. So I said, well, try it. Because the nurse said when they find out how much work's involved in just moving her from one place to another twice in one day, then they're going to be second, But my kids were against me, wanting me to bring her home. And they don't understand. I got a gimp leg and I got vertigo. And I'm telling you what, I'm pretty good, but I can't lift dead weight. No, and I'm going to tell you what. It took 6 firemen. The last time the ambulance was here, it took 6 firemen to get her out, and they had to lift her and put her on a gurney. Well, they put her on a flatboard, then they put her on a gurney, and then they had to get her out the front door on the ramp. And the last 3 feet of the ramp is dirt. There's no concrete there. So that's something else I got to try to do. But, you know, she said, you got what you want. No, I don't get what I want because, you know, I have never disowned you. I haven't yet done anything to our marital status. I've done nothing but been supportive and given her everything that she wants. And she thinks I want her gone. Not at all. Not at all. But sitting on one chair, laying in one bed, and nobody can move you, and nobody can have the lift to do the physical requirements that you are needed with your depends, it's just not going to happen. Okay, so that's the drama I'm going through. Now they're going to bring her home for one day for Christmas, and I'm just going to let them see what it is because this is the drama that is tearing up my life right now. And it's I could be doing a lot more things to help a lot more people. And this is what I told everybody there. I said, as long as she's there at the care facility, I have no worries about her because this is one of the top 3 care facilities in the state of Iowa. And they do everything for her, literally everything for her. And she likes them all. She likes them all. She wants to come home. Well, I understand that, but you can't. Okay. And I'm sorry. The only person that's keeping her from coming home is her because she won't put the physical effort into building her muscles up so she can walk properly. So that's all that. Thanks a lot, Brian.
So no offense, and I did surprise you, but there's credence to it. It's very important to understand. This is where the spiritual awareness is. You cannot always be likable and relatable to your family. It is impossible. They
Right.
switch on you at any moment because the way the astral realm works within each individual conscious being on this planet, you have the opportunity for these things when you do not understand the spirit realm at all, none of this stuff. They dip their toe in. They test the waters. They imprint ideas that aren't yours. You have to pay attention carefully. Super clever. They can use spiritual principles, clever like, in order to get you to placate or to give up your power, such as, be love and peace, or be of gratitude, and throw yourself out there without compensation, without gratitude. Be grateful for you. But most of all, just keep, being someone's doormat. So these things are clever. They'll use all the ideas. They've been doing this for hundreds of thousands of years. And I'm not just saying this planet. There are many that are quite masterful. So my guides are with me, and they do understand everyone is stretched thin energetically. They can tell. They notice because I have to sleep a lot more. I do. I have to actually ground a lot more human emotional energy by layering it with filters upon filters It's like I'm an AC unit and I'm stuffing 20 different filters in each slot. One for monetary reasons, like people that are so stressed out about money and then they hate money, but they need money and they're tired of the game board messing with the money, which is all an illusion anyways, because it's not standardized or doesn't have a transparent principle. So that's one filter. Another filter is like anger issues, past family traumas, or not getting along with family, or trying to save them. So I have another filter for that too. And then there's another for pity party people, another filter for narcissistic tendencies. I've got a lot of filters up because I have to ground the better or the translucent energy for the planet so she doesn't take the load, right? She's a living entity too. She feels what everyone else feels. There are so many opportunities for a lot of humans to really step up and work. Now, this is me with their words saying you need thicker, not so much skin, thicker spiritual barriers. Same thing as grow some thicker skin, but you need thicker energy barriers. You need to pay attention and get to know you the best. Get to know how you operate, your joys, your anger issues. But at the same time, you have to be able to not be reactionary. Too many people are falling for the garbage. And that also includes on Chance's chat. Who cares about the bricks? Who cares about the cryptocurrencies? I checked my cryptocurrency wallet. Everything is tanked. I'm like, good, great. That's just one step to move us on to the next playing field. But many people are stressing out about all this garbage. And it's not healthy because it stretches your energy thin, and the astral entities love you for it. They love that you're so human and ignorant. And I'm not calling people ignorant, but if you don't know or want to know or understand the astral side, then you're ignorant about some idea, but it's by choice. So it's either you're informed or you're ignorant. I happen to be ignorant in a lot of things too, because that's only natural, right? We don't need to know everything. We're not supposed to know everything, but you definitely should know you best. The best of all. You need to be your best advocate, your best psychologist, your bestest EFF for you alone. Or you can't help anybody. But most of all, knowing you most of all is going to help you sort your emotions when you get ideas in your head that are not your own. So you need to be or have a little bit more of a hyper awareness. And they'll use your family too. And you'll have to think about your family. Why are they acting like this? I don't remember them being like this. It is a jumble or a jungle of, again, it's a battle. It's a battle for your consciousness. It's a sink or swim. You don't get to float anymore. There is no floating mechanism to use. That has been removed. So now you got to pick. You're going to sink or you're going to swim with the current. All right. That's all I had to say on that.
Great.
Back to you.
Listen, Raymond Lee was supposed to be on the show tonight, and I sent him a link, and he hasn't gone on yet. And if he's expecting me to use text messaging, he's SOL, because I don't text links anymore. I'm using email. Okay. So Raymond Lee, if you're listening, I sent you an email with the link to come on the show. And thank you, Brian. That's a fantastic observation. You got to be your own best friend. Absolutely. You got to be your own advocate, and you got to be aware of what's going on. Okay, in every sense: physical, mental, spiritual, etherical, all of it. You got to be there. You got to, and it's just like somebody says, "Hi, Chance. I'm not from Florida. I'm from Australia. But where is my Wise? That is where my Wise account is. And will the Vietnam flip in Aussie dollars? Probably. That you can't call customer service and ask them; they'll cancel your account. This is supposed to be a secret. Okay, so if it does, it'll all be dollars. Okay. The reset is everybody being on an even playing field. So all you're going to have to worry about is $1 in Australia is going to be $1 in China, going to be $1 in New Zealand, going to be $1 in France. $1 is going to be $1. So don't worry about it. Okay, you guys overthink this way too much.
I agree.
And all the banking rules and regulations are under the corporation. And when this thing flips, the corporation is going to be gone. And you won't have to deal with any of the corporate rules, just like you won't have to deal with Admiralty Maritime Court, like you won't have to deal with bar attorneys. You won't have to deal with court orders. You won't have to deal with child support. You won't even have to deal with being married.
They're still too focused on that. They need to just not give a damn. You need to just forget forget about it. Just do the deed and leave it alone. If you
go with the flow.
But no, not even that. They just need to literally forget about it. Forget it. You just did it, and you do an affirmation. I know that it will reflect in a greater light or manner, and then you leave it alone. You just don't put it back in your mind. You move to a project of something has a greater value or self-worth. Your worth isn't determined by every action that we say or ideas that we give. Your worth is determined by what you do for you, most of all. But you have to keep moving forward. You can't stay stagnant in this world, because the world is going to leave you behind. Stagnation is your worst enemy.
Well, Brian, let me add to that real quick before you said anything. I was a day trader years and years ago when my daughters were young and I was still at the state police. I day traded. And I have to tell you, I made a few dollars. But that was the most stressful time, not knowing when to pull out, when to get in, buy or sell high, sell low. It was so stressful. I even used the software at that time. I forget what it was called, but it had green lights that told you when to buy it and when to stop buying it. So it was kind of easy. But we read so much into everything, and we listen to so many different people talking about so many different things. It gets us all flustered and confused. And I think that's what most of the people are talking about. I've heard this guy say this. I heard this person say that. I don't know if this is coming. And they're all worried about it. And I and Chance are sitting back what is wrong with people? Why are they doing this? Why don't they just let it go as it's supposed to and not worry about it and just live your life normal? If it works, great. If it don't worry about it. You're just going to be wherever you're going to be at the time is where it is the right place. So it doesn't even matter. If everything goes through the RV and all, we get a lot of money, great. But if we don't, most of us will still be fine, because we'll have our bills paid off a little bit quicker and we'll have a better life. But some of us right now are living paycheck to paycheck, and it's very hard for them to see that. And they're trying to get every little bit and every bit of money they can get. Bitcoin all over the place. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Bitcoin, but rather than me throw my money in Bitcoin, I'd rather throw it in precious metals like silver or gold or, stuff like that. It's more important, because at least you have value. You show the value.
That's true. That's very true. But everything, including every breath you take, is speculative. You you take your next breath and you speculate you're going to be breathing tomorrow, but you might not. I might go in there to bed with my dog, and I might just go on to the next realm. We don't know. We don't know everything. Every hair you cut when you get a haircut, every step you take, every move you make is speculative. Okay, you
But
know.
that's,
And,
yeah.
hi, Joel.
Yeah,
Um,
I was going to say that falls under the unconscious aptitude, meaning if you let the unconscious drive your journey, you're going to get what you get. And a perfect example, I knew a lady when I went to see a psychiatrist, I think when I was on medication or having health problems, she told me on her bucket list, believe it or not, is to go peacefully and quietly in her sleep. We were just talking about like what kind of bucket lists we would have. Sure enough, 3 months later, she passed in her sleep, literally. And I thought, what? Because it shocked me. And I didn't understand how that worked, but that's how the unconscious drives your life. So if you don't want a lot of ideas, you have to consciously, willfully drive your existence forward. Or you get the other. They work in tandem. Neither of those ideas rest. It is an interwoven tapestry, almost like string theory or chaos theory, whatever you want to call it. It can have rhyme and reason and no rhyme and no reason, but it works no matter what. So be aware.
Brian, we got somebody ask you a question on the screen. Are you?
Sure,
Where do we go to find out if your bank's ISO compliant? You knew about that. So where is it we go?
So again, you can research the Stellar. You can research the Stellar Network, and from the Stellar Network, you would dive into all the individual entities of who's working in par or in parallel with certain currencies, whether it's XLM or XRP or XDC, whatever's attached to, or Algo, which is platinum or palladium, whichever. It is a huge data dump. I'll just tell you this right now. If you're going to dive into cryptocurrencies, knowing that they're fictitious, it's all fiction, it's not real until it's has a stapled agreement for the whole world to see. And I would encourage you to probably do that instead of invest in that. You're probably better off just doing the Wise account and then investing in crypto later, in case then you'll have plenty of wiggle room. I'm trying to get a lot of people to think what logically makes sense, to where there could be certain things or aspects that have potential use sooner rather than later. And again, this is my opinion. So in my opinion, whoever comes in, Mass, Trump, Elvis, I don't care anymore. But I do believe when the switch does get flipped, the Wise account would be active first. This is just my opinion, because it is a part of the new industry, or whatever industry that's going to be shaped when the switch flips. And since they deal in multi-currencies, they will be able to show you a broader aspect than a bank could, legitimate and wise. And since you're not operating really like a bank, but a separate entity, it's got a bit of a different formula. That, or you do the digitalities, but at the same time, put it out of your mind, put it out of your sight. Move forward to better things, to better ideas, such as you, health, family. If you have some good ties with your family, relearn how to talk differently, right? Or do affirmations. There's a whole lot of other things people can be doing besides materialistic points of attention. Again, my opinion. So it's
What
for
they're
you.
looking for, Brian, though, is they're looking for the list of banks that are ISO compliant.
You're not going to find a list because it changes every day. That's why I'm like, it really doesn't matter as long as they all get in line, right? Some are going to say, oh, yes, we'll do what you say, then they'll bottom out, right? Not all of them are going to make it, even if they do become ISO 222 compliant. The idea is for all these entities to become one entity, get unified, and then their names literally being wiped off the face of 3D, such as Chase, Rockland Trust, Citibank, all of these entities, goodbye. All you want to see is one word or two words, wealth, or three, wealth management center. That's all you want to see in every language across the world. Why do you want so many separate entities? I don't understand. Does it make sense to you? I'll tell you right now, Interstellar doesn't have this problem. They don't have hundreds or thousands of banks. They have one idea. Wealth Management Center. That's it, or whatever's equivalent in their language. They don't need anything else. It's the same with their own interstellar military. They only have one military. They don't have 4 branches like we do here or more. We don't need a lot of these very minuscule separate ideas because it never works. You just need them more unified with structured statements, with a strong foundation that cannot be tampered with, cannot be changed. They're inundated permanently, and they represent the highest caliber integrity for humans. So I would work on focusing on those ideas instead of all the little trivial drivel that we keep getting through. I don't care if it's Whiplash, I don't care whoever it is. If it's Q, it doesn't matter anymore. But yeah.
Okay, I inadvertently got a phone call right then. It's all good. Yeah, get your money out of the banks, guys. Okay, I've been telling you this and telling you this and telling you this, and somebody says you're wrong on crypto. It has outperformed metal for the last 14 years by far. It's digital gold, brother. Respectfully, there's a lot of people that feel that way, and there's a lot of people that's made a lot of money on it, and I know that. But it's a game I don't want to play. I don't want to play it because I don't know enough about it, and I can't trust anybody that wants to teach me.
But not everything represents gold. There you go. If it all represented gold, silver, copper, I would say you're quite accurate. Then it's a true statement that it's known around the world. All currencies have their respective precious metals or precious jewels stabilizing the economy. And then we wouldn't be in this giant crapshoot of a game board where there's trillions of dollars of debt.
Right.
So you are right and wrong. If it works for you, then you're right. But if it works for everyone else, then you're wrong. Because we're in such a financial distress. The whole world is.
And not only that, don't forget the hackers. I mean, I have a friend that is literally a millionaire in California with Bitcoin. And he told me, he said, I can't trade it in anywhere because I'm afraid that somebody will steal my Bitcoin. So even though he's a millionaire on paper, he can't use that money. He cannot use it. He's afraid to have anybody transfer it. He's afraid to anybody to look at it and try to transfer it. He's got a lot of fear. And that's something that, even though it may be good because you have that money, you can't use it.
It's paralyzed, yeah.
Exactly.
Because of the world and how it's been operating, everyone is paralyzed to some degree. And then same with the scams. There would be no scams if everyone had decent jobs with decent pay, right? Think about that for a second. This world wouldn't be so vicious toward each and every one of us, especially to those that have good intentions.
Brian, you see what this one just said? Look.
I just had my crypto stolen by a hacker. I, for one, am done with crypto.
There you go.
That's right. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. That's what Lynette Zhang says, and she's right. If you don't hold it in your hands, you don't own it. That's your physical currency.
Right. There is no legal.
That's your gold and silver.
Yes, that's another problem. There's no enforcement agency that will investigate or has been created for crypto because the government or all these agencies know that it's fake. It's fake, fictitious. If it was legitimized, like I said, then there would be an agency in place. There would be, because everything has to work in tandem with this new program that will come in to shape those ideas. So for those of you that are going to attempt to create multiple baskets of cryptocurrency, that's fine. That's still a gamble. I know, I have done it too. Has it paid off? I'm waiting. I'm sitting on it. I haven't touched my loads of XRP, my loads of XLM. Can I move it? I actually can't, to tell you the truth. I can't move it because I don't have the funds to move it because where I put it in, because I didn't understand. Let me give you an example of a program I did not understand, even though I did put it in. It's called the Lobster Ledger Growth. Lobster Ledger Growth. It is very hard to understand the Lobster Ledger Growth. Do you want to know what it is? It is a staking mechanism. When you put and you start staking, you have the potential to get 30%, depending on the amount of currency, given back to you. It's phenomenal. It is considerable growth. But only the wealthy can do that. Only the wealthy, through the staking system, you have to be able to pull it out by staking more. It doesn't have a normal algorithm where you can just say, okay, I'm going to get a hold of Joe Schmo, and he's going to help me move all that I staked, the bonus I got for allowing the banks, P&P, or person-to-person transfers or bank-to-bank transfers, and then congratulations, I made 30K. Now I'm ready to move all that money back into the regular Lobster wallet. And they're like, whoa, hold on a minute. And I'm telling you a story here because it's quite valid. In order for you to pull that money, because you put beyond your capacity, whether it's a couple $100K, it's going to cost this individual 20,000 XLM just to pull all his XLM out as part of the fee. Does that make sense to you? It's another taking mechanism. So I'm sitting on a nice little treasure trove of worthless currency, because it is worthless right now until it is stabilized in a statement, and I can't pull it. I could, but then I would deplete my reserves of funds that is emergency, it would be stupid. But at the same time, I can go that route if I need to, because I do have the funds to do it. But then I have to do it separately for my XRP too. So there's a lot of ideas or identities that you have to be aware of and carefully or be able to research. There's not enough information on a lot of these entities, even though they are considered functional at best. Okay? So am I worried? Am I stressed? No, it looks beautiful. I love looking at it, but it still doesn't do me a damn no good for now. Am I worried once the switch flips and then suddenly, oh my God, all my XLM that I invested in is going to skyrocket, and then my XRP is going to skyrocket too? And then I'm going to have to think and scratch my head. So now that it's skyrocketed and looks like all those digits quadrupled, am I still going to need 20,000 XLM, or are they going to bump the price more? Or are they going to have a separate mechanism that will allow them to take a percentage because of the staking, and then I could pull, which that would work too, but they don't. Because I have to go by whatever they say within the program, whoever's operating the message board as the helper, because there's no instructions. But hey, it's legitimate. So it's not easy. It's a lot of work. But Arkham's Razor is your best answer. Deal with tangible, deal with what you know, or deal with the easiest system, which would be the Wise account, and just push it aside, or banknotes, and just let it be. And keep living your life. Keep dreaming about a different type of abundance and being comfortable and being out of survival and enjoying your family, right? The functioning family. I'm not saying the narcissistic, toxic family. You want to enjoy the functioning family members and the time with them.
Well, that's cool. But I wanted to say real quick before Chance says that I have a friend. He's in the hedge funds. So he deals with millions of dollars every day. He does not trust crypto. He doesn't even like to transfer crypto to regular money because, like you said, if the crypto value goes down, he loses money. And the thing is, yeah, we're expecting it to go up, but we don't know.
And they take a cut too every
right,
time you
and take a cut. So one of the cuts I was going to get was a good amount of money between my friend, the hedge fund, and the guy that was the millionaire in California. And he did not want to part with his money. He was afraid to let it go. So we couldn't make the transaction. But the thing is, he doesn't want to deal with crypto because they're too edgy. They're too afraid of having other people. Right. And then they don't get. I might have him on one day for us because he's a super nice guy. He's also a karate guy too, but he definitely knows his hedge fund.
Yeah, it's just so much easier to wait till the technology is part of the quantum system to where there could be an easier way to do it. Like, I think the easiest way to do it, to transfer, would be thumbprint, right?
Mm-hmm.
That would be phenomenal because you're giving full access, full authorization through a transaction mechanism, and it's got your DNA, the frequency it analyzes. So you're approving, and then it's like a ping. You would hear a ping. You don't have to add that asinine large number just to, and then another asinine large number just to transfer, which is like, I don't know, like 24 digits with like letters and numbers, and they're upper and lower case, and you're like trying not to do a mistake by being the One Punch Man right here. So it's, yeah.
Go ahead, Chance.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm going to say I agree. There's just something about crypto that it don't resonate with me, okay? If you don't hold it, you don't own it. Thank you, Lynette saying, because I'm holding my currency. I'm holding my little bit of silver that I have. And hey, and I'm holding my Wise account. And I'm going to be throwing a pan here in a minute to settle these dogs down if they start up. They hate that. That's my training tool, is this steel feed pan. If they act up, I throw it on the ground, and it makes a terrible racket, and they don't like it. And let's go back to that question that we had.
Which one? Earlier?
The bank one, I think. That one.
Okay. You're going to have to call... You're going to have to call your local bank, and you're going to have to ask for the compliance officer and then find out if they are ISO 20022 compliant, which means they have to have a certain percentage of assets in gold and not just the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve money is worth little more than monopoly money right now, okay? Reply was they will be in March 2025. That means when they crash, they won't be back up until 2025. That's what that means. So
that's good news.
get your money, Tamara. Get your money out of the damn bank. God, how many times I got to tell you people this? Take your damn money out of the bank.
But they're not going to, and it's fine. Because you know why?
That's their journey.
Well, you can hope that it will be mirrored in the new system when they flip the switch. So we're all hoping for a benevolent outcome, but at the same time, we know, again, we don't want to have to make extra trips where we're paying bills because no one takes cash anymore. Everyone takes the debit card or the credit card.
Right.
So I get the tension is insurmountable. Like you can't help feeling like you'd be looked at as some type of paranoid schizophrenia, they're like, why do I see them come in the bank all the time? And they're just depositing bits here and there. And you're like, are you okay? Do you not trust us? Hell no. But I'm still paranoid because I'm focused too much on all this stuff. Just do you. Okay. I am not going to take money 10 times or 20 times out of the bank because I never know. And there's just sometimes, you're going to have to just do emergency things and you don't want to have to do an extra step. I get it. Even though Chance says it with good intentions, we're all still going to do us. And that's fine too. It's whatever works best for you. But at the same time, I can't complain and you can't complain if suddenly things go disarray. But I am going to tell you this. If the phones are working and I call Chance, I go, yep, I should have taken it out. I will admit it. But that's what I'll do. And then he can have a chuckle and laugh.
Well, it's funny, Venmo and all them other things that people have, it's not just banks, because the banks run Venmo card. So that's another one that my friends are, I'm just putting it in Venmo. I'm like, that's still a bank. It's just a card.
Well, I don't want to get into the banking and Elvis. I'll put it on Elvis, that Elvis question. I don't want to get into banking because that's another thing I don't understand. I got it in my hand that I know it's mine. Elvis, are you going to cash in on the second basket? Oh, Tim Brown, you must be a newbie. Okay. Everybody's talking about baskets, okay? There are no baskets. That's something Bruce from the Big Call made up. None of the people in the D1, D2 group talk about baskets. There's only going to be one time, one currency exchange, and you're going to have 3 different appointments. The first one is for your 1%. That's what's coming up. The second one is 10 days later. That is for your other 10%. And then the third time you go back in, that's when you get your mother load, and it'll all be on your quantum account. And I just got Morningstar, who is a good friend of mine. Love her and her partner to death. She says, check your text message. She's got good news for us. So here we go. I'm looking for... okay, let's see if this is this Morningstar? Oh, yes, it is. Okay, this is my good friend. I'll keep your name anonymous, yes. My contact says we are looking at the dinar going on the Forex event happening next Tuesday. Now, wait a minute. What is next Tuesday? Tomorrow's the 6th. Saturday's the 7th. Sunday's the 8th. I'm hearing from my sources the 9th. So she's saying the 10th. But we always heard something was going to go on a Tuesday, and Tuesday is the 10th. Okay, Tuesday is Victory Day in Iraq. People would be able to use their wife's accounts the same day. Please keep me anonymous. Yes, I will, dear. Yes, I will. I won't tell anybody your name. She's a good soul, and I'm privileged to have her and her partner as my family members. Let's see. MNT Pango Boulevard. Don't act like you know more than me. I know they're all good. Okay. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying, if you want to believe in crypto, then you go ahead and pray at that altar. Okay. Because that's your thing. It's not my
We're not judging. Yeah. We're not judging. Everyone's going to do
No,
whatever they want.
it's all good. You do whatever. Hey, listen, if you could stand on your head and make rainbows come out of your rear, guess what? And that's what you like to do? Then do it. Okay. Hey, JT, how you doing? JT's a very valuable information source that I use. And but anyway, we are very stinking close, guys. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to try a little experiment. We did have Raymond Lee coming on, and he was going to talk about a special trust at a special price. But if you want to know about that, you can email me at chancemusic@yahoo.com. It is it's not as good as the $2,000 trust, but it's a pretty darn good trust, and it's a very special Christmas price. And the same way with Maria Janet having a special option. I've invited them. I've sent emails to them. They just didn't show up. Hi, Don. I sent them links. So anyway, they've got special deals on the Express Trust and the irrevocable and revocable trust and some other things. If you want their email, then just email me at chancemusic@yahoo.com and I will send you over to them. Okay. But we're talking about a huge percentage discount on these things. Okay. I'm not allowed to say the discount amount, but that's, they were supposed to be on here. They didn't get the links. I don't know what's going on. Captain Marvel didn't make it on. I don't know what's going on there. He's trying though. Wyatt's trying. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you some intel. Okay. And we thank Morningstar very much for her input. And actually, the 9th was the date I was given, but it could be the 10th, and whatever it takes. Okay, I know Iraq's done. Okay, and the reason I know Iraq is done is they finally releasing the fact that they were done because they were done on May 17th. Okay, you didn't know that. You didn't have the documentation, but I did. I told everybody. Okay. Right on, Elvis. These guys don't know what what we're talking about.
That's okay.
Yeah, well, I don't have to know everything. I don't. You guys go ahead and crypto yourself into crypto rock and roll. I don't care, man. Flying V guitar, yeah, it's for sale, and you can, if you want to buy that guitar, it is for sale at fortmadisonguitars.com. The link's in the chat. That's FORT Madison, like the president, guitars.com. It's an eBay store, and you can buy that guitar right on there.
So
and
could I say something real quick, James?
Sure.
So let's talk about. So here's a nice tool that all of you should probably consider as we close the year and work into the new year. So we know that prayers are quite powerful, but here's something that you should understand about prayers that have a higher frequency of thought form in how you kind of speak them, right? So if you speak your self prayers out to the creator, it doesn't matter whether you believe in God or source or an energy, they will be heard if they are from the heart and they are transparent, and then they have a integrity factor. So that is the plus side. If your prayers are selfish, right, they too will also be heard, and they will be responded to accordingly by entities that represent false light. So you can expect problems. So this is something that you're all going to have to be aware of, because many of you probably do a lot of prayers or a lot, but you have to be aware if they are quite selfish. And I'm sure some of you have made selfish intentions. And again, this only applies to those that it applies to, because I didn't intend to say this, but clearly I'm asked to say it, as you're just gonna need to be more aware of how you speak. So yeah, just do the best you can. And that's great, Tim. Tim, we are not about the idea. So if you are new to this channel, Chance is about the idea of physical abundance, meaning RV, or an idea of humanitarian projects. I'm just going to let you know right now. And things that are more tangible, meaning he doesn't care. And I am a little bit more broad spectrum, okay? I do a little more of the analytical. Hey, Wyatt. And
Wyatt.
I'm more on the spiritual side. I do a lot of the astral stuff or the etheric, or I give different formulas, things that don't necessarily agree with the human perception, because it's kind of like in my own little nutter box, if you're paying attention to what I'm saying, Tim. And yes, I kind of understand this idea of currencies, but we really don't care, because it doesn't matter. All we care about is informing and getting people to navigate themselves, and not to be so hardwired and focused on digital energy. It's just energy. Everything is energy. So you could kind of, in my opinion, just unglue yourself, relax, enjoy the show, maybe broaden your expanse and get to know some other ideas. Again, my opinion. And this is me with a little bit of sarcasm added into it, just to let you know. All right. Hey, Wyatt, how's it going?
Hey, Brian, how are you? Sorry I caught the tail end of that. I'm going to have to watch this video later.
Yeah, we've gone in a lot of different directions, Wyatt. And ladies and gentlemen, as you don't know, this is Wyatt, formerly known as Captain Marvel Jr. on the internet, and now he has decided to grace our presence, and we really appreciate him. He's got a lot of information, and I'm going to give some information right after Wyatt does, because I'm going to have him repeat the information that I gave you about the Yellow Dragon bonds. So you go ahead, Wyatt.
Yeah, well, I was told a couple of days ago that the Yellow Dragon bonds are not real, and that it is a scam, and the people who are selling them are the scammers. Now, I don't know how true that is. I'm told that the real dragon bonds are actually green. And I don't know if you've done your money, but you've bought them in good faith from people. I'm hoping that because you've done that and you've got your receipts and everything like that, that you will be able to do the exchange. When the exchange happens, you'll be able to redeem on them. But it's up in the air at the moment. I'm waiting on further information about it. I'm going to be looking into it more today. I'll probably know more before the weekend is over, and I will certainly let Chance know what I find out, and he can let everybody know on Telegram. So yeah, but thank you. I'm sorry I'm late. I've had internet issues and they've finally been fixed. So please forgive my tardiness.
Oh, you don't have to apologize. And just to go back to like to the currencies, I understand you just I think we should just all really be grateful for any and all investments, especially if they are good intentions, because we could have made a lot of people have invested on eBay, but not everything is legitimized. So I think from the abundance of gratitude within these ideas, we should get hope to get what we're going to get as a value, but not complain. Even if they say, hey, like you go to a redemption center and they say, hey, we're just going to let you know these stack of bills that you have here, they're fake. They weren't legitimized. And you'd be like, well, then you can ask a question: is it part of the Reparations or Reformation Act? Because that would be a very good question, and they'll most likely say yes, because of the heavy infiltration of again just a cash grab, like everything and everyone. So it doesn't matter how knowledgeable we are in any physical currencies. You can most definitely assume you may have some that aren't legitimate or fake. But at the
Yeah,
same time, you can't be afraid to understand your value in the investment for yourself. So
yeah,
that's why we just all have to kind of take a step back and just let it be, and then
yeah,
allow and own energy to govern ourselves.
yeah. That's right. And the thing is, like, if you've bought them in good faith, I can't, and like because you're trying to get ahead of the curve, I think they would understand that at the RV at the redemption center, and I think they will honour them because you acted in good faith. And people who are buying foreign currencies generally, you know, uh, are humanitarian people. So they're not going to stop you, getting your humanitarian project up and running. No way, you know. So uh, the whole thing is if you have been in a situation where you've been scammed, you are a victim of other people's greed, and they are not going to get a red cent, right? Because they're scammers. They are acting unlawfully. So, and they're all going to get sorted out. You're going to see people going to the redemption center. They're going to be lined up. Why don't we go on this direction? And somebody will tap by this. They'll come up there. They'll find out who you are. Oh no, you're not. You're not at this desk. You got to go over here. You got to go into that private room. Well, guess what? There's handcuffs waiting for you if you're a scammer, right? And nobody will even know. So, yeah, just but don't buy any yellow dragon bonds. Okay, they are green apparently, and I don't know who's selling the green ones. If anybody does know, put it in the chat so people know. The only other thing that I've got is a little bit of intel that last Friday after Thanksgiving, and I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. There was a ship that came in with 200 tanks, US tanks, not water tanks, not petrol tanks, tanks, the ones that go bang. 200 of them with the crews, and some personnel. I've got it on authority that there are British and American ships at Garden Island in Western Australia, which is just off the port of Freo. So it looks like they are staging, or they're getting ready to stage. So they're bringing the assets in. So I think we're very, very close to this all going down. Insofar as what's supposed to be happening on Wise or with the Vietnamese Dong, it was supposed to happen today. It hasn't yet. Don't give up. I think that will come soon. But it will be a sweetener for those people who are waiting to do their actual exchanges, which Chance has got some information on. that's going to be. And I've heard that myself. I've heard the same information myself. I don't like it, but it is what it is. But I am convinced that the White Hats have sped up the timeline. I don't know whether you feel the same way, Brian.
I've been energetically drained a lot, but at the same time, the ringing is so loud. I pick up so many tones. Like if I sit in a quiet space, it's insane, and it my skin starts to vibrate like hard, and all my hair follicles stand up. Like even now, if I just sit still for a moment and just allow it to come away from the backdrop room, the noise room, then I get hit with all these frequencies. So usually I just like to muffle it so I could kind of carry on through my day.
So, but do you feel that they have sped up the timeline?
So time is one of those things where it's like a deck of cards where there's a continual shuffling, but the cards are minimal. So you could say maybe, but it's weird. So we're here and we shuffle with two timelines. You could think of it that way. This is kind of like my energy interpretation. However, the next door also shuffles. You know what I mean? So there's this continual shuffling of vibration between these two, and sometimes we get a lower frequency that will temporarily kind of shift in, only because of the polarized energy of the collective, but it doesn't stick for long. It leaves. So it is cutting down to the wire, but all that means is that it's part of the kind of the apocalyptic scenario. And again, apocalypse isn't a bad thing. It's just
I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think the apocalypse is going to happen.
Well, it's not a negative thing. In Greek, it means rebirth. So it's supposed to be a natural transition. It's everything that doesn't work has to fall apart in a chaotic fashion, and then everything else will be elevated, and consciousness will
order from chaos. Order from chaos.
But that's kind of
I do think that the White Hats have actually stepped up the program, though, in the sense that they're moving forward far quicker now because they're so close to the end of it, and there's not much in the way of obstacles. So obviously things are going to speed up. But I was just wondering, your interpretation of the energies was a very good sort of analogy with the shuffling of cards. It's constantly on the move, and they're switching backwards and forwards all the time. So, I think we're a lot closer than we believe we are.
Yeah.
But, anyway, I'll turn it back to Brian to Chance now.
Guys, here's the intel that I gave Tuesday. Okay, nothing has changed. There's been no updates other than what Wyatt has given you. Now, Tuesday on my Telegram chat, I got started with the chat and I got interrupted with the phone call from the intake officer. So I paused the chat and I let Hey You Guys, the moderator, take over, and I took the call. And basically, this is it. There is no Mr. Cottrell going to put in the codes because the Chinese elders put in the codes on Tuesday, and two groups have already been through the process. One of them is a San Antonio, Texas group, and the other one is a Switzerland group, okay? And the Dragon is this lady, whoever this is saying the Dragon Balls are certified by a group with an attorney. They were done years ago. The ones on eBay are likely not valid. Okay, well, that's fine. That could be, and we'll see. That's everything, including the next step I take or the breath I take, is speculation. So here we are, a bunch of speculators trying to speculate. and just realize that our speculations pretty quick we're going to be
Reality.
spectators instead and participants instead of speculators. Okay. So I understand everybody's got their truths and everybody's got their opinion and everybody's got their discernment. But when I get input from the intake officer, this is a guy that deals with sovereigns. He deals with whales that hold more currency than you can imagine. And he said that to me. He says, I deal with whales that have more currency than you can imagine. I said, that must be a lot there, Mr. Intake Officer, because I can imagine a lot. And he says, well, it's way more than you can imagine. And I said, okay, so I'll take his word for it. And he's a great guy. And he's also one of the guys that's getting a med bed. Okay. He has, way back in the beginning of this whole thing, how many years ago, I don't know. He is actually getting a med bed, and he's going to make a portable med bed, and he is going to allow a certain number of people in my circle and my circle is closed, by the way. I'm sorry, but I've got 28 people in this circle, and that's more than enough. And from what I understand, there's going to be 82 to 85,000 med beds, all pretty much released at the same time. And some of them are saying they're open, but they're not the real med beds. They're those canisters.
Tanning beds?
It's a tanning bed with a canister underneath it. Yeah. And there's one up in Dubuque, Iowa. I was going to go see it, but it costs like $600 to sit on it to lay on the bed overnight, and okay, well, that won't do any good because the way those canisters work is you have to have constant exposure. And Tesla biohealers in the canisters, maybe. I don't know what they're called, but I do know the canisters require constant exposure. So with this in mind, and the information we got from Morningstar, Pango, okay, there is no baskets, okay, there is no tiers, okay, but everybody's saying the Pango will be one of the currencies that you will be able to exchange. The Pango, the Zimbabwe, the Indonesian rupee, the Vietnamese dong, the Iranian real. Is that it? I don't have any
Reals,
yeah. And everything that we've talked about, the Venezuelan
the
right?
The Bolivar and the digitalis too. And the funny thing is, nobody's talking about the digitalis and what the value is that going to be. So I'm.
Oh, the digitalis are the home. This is the home run. The Pango and the digitalis is a home run, but the overall home run is a Vietnamese dong on the Wise, because the Vietnamese dong has substance pre-RV and post-RV. So because it has substance on both sides, that is a guaranteed home run. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I want to remind everybody that if you're 70 years old or older, when you go in for your currency exchange, do not say redemption. Do not say cash in. Currency exchange is the only thing you want to do. Okay. When you go in for your currency exchange and you set up your quantum account, you're going to see a larger amount than what you're exchanging, because you're going to be getting your Reformation and your Restoration funds at the same time, because you're 70 years old or older. And as a humanitarian, you're going to be on an early list for a med bed. So, and they're going to know. They're going to know. I'm telling you, they're going to know how your heart is.
Yeah, they got the machines to read it. They've got the machines to read the aura, read what's going on in your brain.
Oh, yeah.
You cannot lie to them. If you think you can lie to them, and
they'll like the frequency then.
Yeah,
I will tell you, there's a lot of narcissists. There's a lot of narcissists in the various groups on Telegram. There's a lot of narcissists, and I'm going to tell you what they're going how you get read is going to determine the rate that you get. Because if you're a narcissist, you might just get street rate and you won't get a contract rate. Okay, this is something that nobody said to you before ever. But I'm telling you, if you're all about you, and then it don't matter if they give you anything, because if it's all about you and you go out and buy a new house and 10 new cars and you act like a big deal and you got all kinds of cash in your pocket and you're flashing your credit cards and everything like that, guess what? You can say, kiss my bye-bye. Goodbye. Say goodbye to your money, because they're going to take it all back and they're going to give it to somebody that's going to do good with it. If you're not a good steward to this money, you are screwed. Okay? Yep. And being a good steward is more than having your heart right, but it is a matter of
that's right.
Yeah, you got to have your head right. Get out of your head and get into your heart. Okay, that's what Ken always used to say. And how do you? Can I ask, how do you arrest a android? I'm just asking. If you know the answer to that, go ahead and post it. Anyway,
I don't think people understand when you say android, so maybe you should explain.
Okay, an android is part human and part machine, part robot, part
Terminator.
Why is he called that though? Like, people wonder why. Like, why
an android? I don't know. That's what I call him.
Is it because, like, his information is, he gives people information from whatever information he pays attention to?
I listen to him, Brian, and all I hear is this: "Oh, guys, we're getting very close, guys. And guys, I just want you to know, guys, I'm under an NDA, and I know you probably like him, and I shouldn't be making fun of him, but when he's saying guys over and over and over and over again, that's a computer glitch." Yes, he's a clone. He's RoboCop. Yes, you're getting it.
So
yeah, I know. And remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. Okay.
It's really important that you pay attention to who you listen to, and it doesn't have to be us, but listen to the language and the dialogue. And if you notice that there is always a repetitious pattern of whatever you want, formula, hopium, or even if someone says I'm under an NDA, but if for some reason, let's just say, if he comes out next week with information, then that must have been a very false statement. If he's showing a zipper over his mouth holding the beat. But
Rachel, sorry to interrupt, but Rachel, don't be so negative, please. I mean, just if you're feeling that way, just go out and have a walk on the grass in bare feet, get yourself grounded, come back in, and you'll feel a lot better. Sorry, Brian.
No, that's okay. Or bring a rock in the house. Yeah. You don't have to just stand on solid ground. You can bring a rock, hold a rock, put a rock in your pocket, and that's still grounding. There's multiple ways of grounding. It's your limitation of how you view something is going to set you back. So if you can imagine anything from nature, you pick it up, you bring it in your house. If you like it, it feels comfortable, it's grounding. It's grounding you because it's been outside, it's been charging on the ground, and it's got a ton of energy. The planet's got a ton of energy to give. It really does. She is for the human. She wants to support. She wants to give the humans what they need, not want, need, in order to navigate her realm as a guest, because that's what everyone is. Everyone is a guest on top of her and within her vessel. So, and I just want to say, for those of you that are picking up a lot of frequencies, it's not going to stop. I'm sorry. Do not go to the doctor. Do not say, give me medication for tinnitus. It is not an ailment. Ringing in the ears is not an ailment. It is an elevation. You are tapping into Schumann frequencies. That's really all it is. It's
Yep.
different bandwidths, layered, stacked. If you end up picking up and hearing 17, just convert it into backdrop noise. It's not easy. It's going to take time and energy, but you have to sit and say, I'm okay with it. You have to talk to your DNA. You say, DNA, I want to convert all frequencies into backdrop noise. And so it is. Do affirmations. Affirmations are your key. They are your tool. They are energetically scripted to give you and create the greatest reality in your realm that you could ever want. Use all the tools, but don't limit yourself and think that there's one way to do something right. There's so many ways from a spiritual side. So take advantage of that.
Yeah. Now, Shadell had a comment up there about the med beds. Yeah, and how Big Pharma has threatened to put a poison in with the anesthetic. This will all be vetted first. All these med beds will be vetted, number one. Second, they will be operated by the military. They're not being operated by civilian doctors. They're not being operated by civilians at the moment. They're going to be all done by military. The first round will be done by the military. The second round of med beds, when they come out, will most likely go to the hospitals where it can be controlled, and it will be under supervision of the military. The third round of med beds most likely will be open to the hospitals and private providers, and Big Pharma will be well out of the picture by then. All right, but no, you will not be killed on a med bed. That's the vibe I got from that. It's a warning that somebody could get killed on a med bed. No, look, I'm going to go on when they get the transporter platform out at the airport, instead of taking a plane, I'm going to step on the transporter platform and I'm going to get transported to the United States. I'll be there in 5 minutes. Right? I'm more than willing to embrace the technology, right? Because it's all been tested, it's all trusted. So just have faith that the right people are doing the right thing with the med beds and all these new technologies that are coming, which President Trump said he wants to have the state fair sort of thing going on from Memorial Day to the 4th of July. And that's where all this technology is going to be showcased. So, I mean, this is big news when you think about it. And it's a very special birthday present for the United States because it's going to be 250 next year. So, you know.
There's something I'd like to add about that, Wyatt.
Yeah.
You know, this is going to turn around so many different things, the celebration that we're going to have. This is going to actually be a vehicle for everything. Now, I'm going to tell you what Hamilton Radio is going to do. Hamilton Radio is going to be covering it live, okay? We will be covering the celebration live. We will be talking to the bands, and this is a great opportunity for live music to come back. Trump realizes that. Trump even endorses a guitar. He's a big music lover. Steve has told me in the past that he loves Fleetwood Mac, the Beatles, Tom Petty, all the stuff that I like. So you know, maybe I can get a gig with Trump as the ambassador of music or ambassador of rock and roll or something like that. Anyway, okay, yeah, the Schumann frequencies are going crazy. And just here, I'm going to give you this positive affirmation I've given you guys many times before. I am health, wealth, abundance, and joy. Okay? I am health, wealth, abundance, and joy. Okay? That says it all. You are healthy. You are wealthy. You are abundance. God wants us to have abundance. It's in my song, 520-7418. And joy, happiness. This is the perfect health, wealth, abundance, and joy is the perfect balance for a true human being. Okay? For a healthy human being. For a complete human being. And you guys are all going to be it unless you got a demon in you. And if you got a demon in you, and I'm not happy for you. I'm not happy for you. But 520-7418, listen, it works. It works. You guys got to trust it, okay? And you got to trust, like I said, God wants all of us to have abundance. He does. And you ever heard the old expression, oh, well, shoot them all, let God sort them out? Well, guess what? We're not going to shoot them all. But guess what? God is sorting them out. Okay?
Yeah.
God is sorting them out. He is sorting out the sick. The sick people. He knows who's sick, who's going to get into the med beds. He is sorting out the evil people. He is sorting out the cable guys. He is sorting out the humanitarians. He's sorting us all out, guys. Okay? So, just put your faith in source. Put your faith in source. Whatever your source is, I call him God, but I also call him Yeshua. I also call him in my heart. So do whatever. Yeah, I know all Forza. I know all about what the guitar maker said. And here's the thing, okay? I'm not too worried about it, okay? There's Chinese copies of everything that come over. And these particular guitars are Korean. But let me explain to you. Let me tell you something else. Tonight, I've really dropped some bombs on you guys. I'm going to drop a big bomb on you tonight. Not only is your marriage contract going to be dissolved, okay? Not only are your homeowners association contracts going to be dissolved, all your debt contracts are going to be dissolved, but listen to this. Are you ready? Copyrights and patents are also going to be dissolved, and you will have to resubmit for your copyrights and your patents. You will have to do that in the New Republic, not in the corporation. Everything you've been doing is in the corporation. This is monstrous information. So if I'm right on top of things, I could go and get Fender.com if I wanted to, and I could get Gibson.com or Gibson Guitars and Fender and whatever, But don't you think that there isn't a few awake attorneys out there that know this, and they're getting ready to file for their clients the minute it happens. And don't think 1 minute that Trump went into anything to try to hurt anybody, because I don't believe he did. And there's so many. I've got 6 Les Paul copies out in the shop, and they're all copies. People buy copies. They can't afford $3,000 for a new Les Paul. Yes, the marriages are going to be dissolved too, because you have 3 parties in your marriage contract. Okay, you have your partner, you, and the state. Okay, so the marriage certificate is actually a bond, and it is a financial instrument. And
that's why it's got the numbers up in the top right-hand corner.
Yep, and so they're trading your partnership all over the world, and they're making money off of it, okay?
Yeah.
So,
and I'll tell you what, your birth certificate's going to be dissolved as well.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
That's a bond. That's the key. You get the barcodes on the birth certificate, the numbers and all that, the numbers on the top right-hand side, the red number, right? They are all numbers that give access to the Cesta KV trust, right? Which is where the government gets all their money from every time you sign your name to anything. And that's what they've been ripping you off. That's all that money's going to come back to you, because they've got to get rid of the birth certificate as well. So the only thing you'll have is the certificate of live birth. And that is a completely different thing. That's the document that gives rise to the birth certificate.
It's working, man.
Yeah.
520741 means it's a number that I wrote a song about, and it was taught to me by Maria #1, and I have used it repetitively. And it has really helped me. But if you break it down to its core number, it's 9, and 9 is a number of completion because uh, so we're in the period of completion right now. We're completing the existence of the corporation. We're completing the existence of fiat currency. We're completing the existence of bad health and bad prescriptions. We're completing the existence of negativity. We're going into 1,000 years of abundance. Okay, is Sky an Android too? I don't know. Who knows? Sky. I think Sky's a character, is what I do. It's just like Bugs Bunny's a character. What's up? No,
Well,
I think she's.
Sky's name is actually Kerry Ann Thornton, and she used to be an equestrian champion. Okay,
Really?
she used to be, yeah. She went by Sky Prince for a while there, but yeah, she's now using her name, her proper name. It's funny how all the people who've got all the, like me with Captain Marvel Jr., and now Sky is now using her name. There's others starting to do the same because this shows you the shift in the freedom movement and how it's going, but it also tells you just how close we actually are to everything.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I get from that.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, but she's a character. I mean,
yeah, she's definitely a character. Right?
Yeah. I mean, and then she's being misquoted in videos and everything made about her that aren't her. And I mean, and I've even been copied. Okay, there's only 2 Telegram pages that are legit for me, Chance McFadden. And by the way, let's clear this up right away because I'm the most transparent truther on the internet. Okay, that's the end of the story. My real name is Brian Paul McFadden. My friends and my family call me Chance. It's a stage name. It's just easier to remember because I really don't like Brian. Okay, why do I not like Brian? Listen, Brian. It ends with an un. It ends with a negative sound. I don't like that. Okay.
Shame on
that's the truth, Brian. He's sitting there laughing at me, but I'm trying to be a positive person, and I don't like. I am Brian. Oh, hell, Brian, what do you say about that? No,
you just wish you had an I instead of a Y.
I have. Oh.
Wow.
Sorry, Brian. No, I forgot who I was talking to.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God. See, this is what happens. I get wrapped up into talking about myself, and then stupidity kicks in.
No, that's okay. But here's the cool thing that everyone should think about and pay attention to as you're kind of unfolding your own journey and own story. This still is ascension. It's still ascension. So if you can imagine for a moment through your metaphysical eyes, your doorway, right, to exit the door, right? So this little bar and the flooring says 3D. So imagine 3D tiles, third density tiles. You're standing on all these third density tiles with, it's got survival, takeaway. It's got all sorts of doodles and acronyms. And your door says 4D on it, or fourth density, which is ascension. So, but what's neat is when you decide to open that handle, and I'm talking about from the unconscious collective. Again, Source has got its own role to play, its own idea in how to facilitate everything for us moving forward. We cannot control it. We can only control what we can control in our own environment from our own conscious design and desires. But pay attention to your door, to the floor. So when I pay attention to the flooring, when I'm opening the door and I push it open, I see there's a lot of lines, not tape. This is lines as I'm opening the door. And one idea I see first in my point of attention, Gitmo channel. That's what I see. I see this tape. And then next, as I open the door more, then I see one another idea that says Nasara, and then another Jasara, and then I see QFS. So I gradually open the door more and more and more, and then I'm getting a broader sense and a broader view of all these ideas flooding in, testing the technology until the doors finally open wide. Why this is really important to view from the metaphysical side, because you want to transfer over into that experience, right? As the observer, unemotional, but with a hyper focus, a hyper awareness. And the most exciting part is when you take your step, because it's new territory, it's unknown, and it is going to be terrifyingly frightful, but also exciting at the same time. So create that idea, visualize and see that, so we can all move taking that first step once the door is fully open. So when the door is fully open, you can think of that as the beginning precursor of 4 density. Again, we're not really going anywhere. We don't know who shifts out or leaves or switches out. That could happen too. You may find a family member that could be slightly different in appearance, or a 360, consciously speaking. We don't know how the things shuffle, the cards shuffle. And yes, I'm sure many of you in your own nonsensical formula are going to grab your bags and say, hey, I'm divorced and free and all this stuff. Peace. And then you walk out. And then
Yeah, well,
a whole
this is
new garbage.
This is going to be great for people who are in a bad marriage. They're going to be able to walk away without any penalty. But if you want to,
yes or no. It's actually yes or no. And I'll tell you what the no side is. There's going to be those that can't handle it, and they will exit in a very horrific fashion, just so you know. Or there will be those. Well, I'm just saying, because again, this is all about polarization, right? So if you're a higher operating conscious person and your significant other literally is a detriment to you and you leave, they will regress further in, and the astral side doesn't care.
And they will self-destruct. Yeah.
Yes. And that's natural, that's normal, that's not your concern. But at the same time, handle these ideas with care, right? Don't just be somebody who feels liberated and not concerned whether they're an NPC you're married to, or someone that's you feel like it could be something else, but you're not sure. You want to still handle any and all ideas with care, so that way you can leave gracefully, quietly, and just get them to do whatever they're going to do without you being influenced negatively, or having their family negatively or kids negatively influencing you. So you have to be clever, dynamically, energetically, when a lot of opportunities open up for you. Okay.
Common law says if you've been together for 7 years, you've been married. Okay. Now let's talk about biblical law. In the old days, there might have been somebody who would have stood up in front of you and said some things, but what happened is you would go over to the family Bible and you would open it up, and the head of the family would write down, Mary is marrying Steve today. Mary Jones, Steve Wilbur, whatever his name is. And there is, you just don't know it, Kurt. Believe me, there is, you just don't know it. I'll talk to you about that later. Anyway, so they write it down and then they sign it under the Bible. Now, how did they handle divorce? Well, divorce was not handled by a court. Okay, back in those days. divorce was handled as such. Everybody's still alive, the head of the family. Okay, well, Steve and Mary decide they don't want to be married anymore. Hey, how are you? And they don't want to be married no more. So the head of the family, whoever that is, goes in and said, the marriage is annulled. The marriage is done. It's over. And they write it the same thing in that. And then everything is split between in the old days, split 50-50. And everybody leaves happy. Okay? That's the way marriage and divorce was done in the old days. Now, I actually look for that to come back. But listen, as far as I'm concerned, all you got to do is hold hands with the person that you're with, and you speak to your heart, speak to source, and make your vows. As far as I'm concerned, you're married. And if you need me to conduct the service for you, I'm good with that. I can do it. Okay? That's right. We don't need contracts. You are absolutely right, Janet.
It's called a union, and there are different, even tribes did unions where they would just bind each other's hand with a ribbon, right? A ribbon of unity.
Right.
But there would be two different colors. And there's a lot of interstellar races that actually, and it's called a consortship or whatever. So you don't refer each other as husband and his wife, you refer each other as a consort or partner. So that is literally true, but there are still ceremonies that are done, and usually you gift something personal or something that is cultural. But when you leave each other's graceful journey and separate, you would usually return the gift or the ribbon, because then you're breaking the vow and giving back, their own sovereignty. And that's just how it is. I mean, it's not perfect up there too, but there's a lot of time. I mean, there are life partners too, like that will be married for thousands of years, surprisingly. But it does work. But just so you know, it's the masculine married to the feminine. That pretty much happens. Not any of this nonsensical stuff that happens down here. And again, it's about the energy, no matter what they look like.
My son just walked in, and we're doing a late show, so here we're gonna get off here, guys, because where can I go to get instructions for Wise to purchase of the dong? You can't. Dong is not offered. Oh, wait a minute. I thought you said dinar. Okay. Dong is on wise.com. You get a membership. You put your stuff in. You get in, and then you go and you put in at least $50. Okay. And then you convert it by clicking on the little red circular red, white, and blue flag, and you convert it into VND, which is Vietnamese dong. We've got some videos on YouTube. Go watch the YouTube videos to know how to do it, because I'm not going to teach you newbies. I don't have enough time. But if you want to pay for a private consult, I'll give you 15, 20 minutes for $50. Okay, 319-561-0064. My email is chancemusic@yahoo.com. And if you want to get the RV protocol papers, contact me at both those places. It's $50. And we've covered a lot of stuff tonight. You guys don't know how many. I mean, I've revealed some stuff I wasn't even supposed to talk about. So I hope I don't get spanked tomorrow, unless I. You'll be fine.
Yeah, well, the Wise sign up process is pretty straightforward. And it's a pretty easy app to use. So, just, point and click. Once you've signed up and you're in there, just point and click and see what does what before you commit to it, because it will always ask you to confirm any conversion or any transfer of money or anything like that. So you can go through the process and check it. So everybody will be okay with that, with Wise.
Next week, I plan on having the stem cell ladies on. Wyatt, I've already given them your information. They will be contacting you direct if they haven't done
They've
so
been in touch.
already. Doc G,
Already been in touch.
I'm going to give you 45 seconds to give me your final thoughts tonight.
Well, first of all, I want to thank everybody for making me a manager with the Life Wave patches. That I appreciate that so much. Never won anything, but if anything, I could say we have a couple sponsors. We're always looking for sponsors for this show, guys. We have several shows that we're working together with. Chance is going to meet a lot of the other hosts from the other shows that I work with. We're all one family here at Hamilton Radio. We've always been that way. We treat everybody with respect. And I suggest you do the same thing. If you don't like what we have to say, then you don't have to listen or you don't have to tune in. You just turn it right off. But if you like what we say and you like our honesty and you think that we're good what we do, then please share and like us and follow all of us and help us guide you to what you need. Thank you.
Oh, my computer started to die. I didn't know I was running off battery the whole time. I'm sorry. Fascinating Brian, what's your final thoughts tonight, sir?
My final thoughts is try and pay or learn about the astral. Just learn. You don't need to see what they look like. Trust me, you don't want to see them on the physical side anyways, because then they'll interact with you. But try and do some research and learn that you are here, but just because you're here doesn't mean something else isn't around you in your living space or just transversing or a passerby. And the most important thing, really, really get to know yourself, all of yourself, so that way you will not be taken advantage of. And when the moment you feel any negative thought, you just look away, you just think about it and you say, nope, that's not me. I don't consent to it. And you can flat out call them out. You can not be nice about it. You can say, leave and curse them out, say, no, do whatever. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be pretty. You want them out of your field and you can threaten them and they will leave you alone. And that's what you want. You do not want to give them permission to walk away because they'll just bring more of them to you, because they'll just laugh at your face and say, they let me go and they didn't even do anything to me. They are scared if you're empowered. So you have to exercise that right to be empowered when dealing with them. And you're not being crazy. You're just looking out for you. So you can say it out loud, say it in your head, but be empowered as you navigate through the rest of this year.
Thank you, Brian. What about you, Wyatt? Final thoughts for tonight.
Yeah, well, just my message has been always the same thing. Just stay positive. Things happen in ways that we don't understand sometimes, and sometimes we do. We try to tell people, this is what's going on. We're not always correct because not all the information's always correct. Right? There's reasons behind everything. I know it's frustrating to say just hold the line a little longer, but we've got to. We didn't come this far only to come this far and just want to turn around and go back to the way things were. I don't think anybody wants that. But it is frustrating for people who are waiting and short of money, like me. I've got a really bad tooth at the moment. It's aching like, it's the Mount Rushmore of toothaches. It's monumental. And I have to deal with it, myself. So the thing is, positive people around you always. Stay within your own energy, stay positive, ground as much as you can. And the bright and beautiful future that's been promised to us is actually coming. It is actually coming. very, very soon. It's almost touchable. So that's my message. I'll see us all on the other side.
Thank you so much, Wyatt. We appreciate you. Now, guys, if you're starting your wise.com account, you're in the 11th hour, and it's 10 minutes to go till the clock is getting ready. The alarm clock is getting ready to go off. So you better set up your Wise account quick. Okay, no, I don't care what Rod Steele said. Okay, I really don't. He's a nice guy, but he kind of repeats things that other people say, and it's all good. I like Rod, but I don't like his nom de plume because it's kind of suggestive. Rod, Steele, Rod. It's kind of suggestive. So anyway, but go to wise.com. Try to set up your account. If you hit any roadblocks, then what I want you to do is go to youtube.com and watch the wise.com videos, and it'll teach you how to get through to it. LifeWave patches and clove oil. Mid-level tannin red wine or coconut oil is a pulling agent. That's for your toothache, Wyatt. But guys, get your RV protocol papers. If you don't know what they are, it should help you get a higher rate at the currency exchange, okay? You get those by emailing me at chancemusic@yahoo.com or Cash App 319-561-0064 or there you go.
That's the stuff. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I'm gonna get some. It's good. It sounds like it might work for my leg too.
No, well, it's for.
By the way, the stem cell patches are working. I guess notice the difference every day. I'm able to walk a little bit better every day with less pain, and I did have to adjust my sleeping posture, but it's all good. After you convert it to Vietnamese dong, what you do is nothing, Tony.
Leave it
alone.
Yep.
And get on our Telegram channel. He posted the link. Didn't you post the link in the chat, Doc?
I did. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, once you convert over to Vietnamese dong, hold on to it.
Yep, we'll tell you it's wise time. So join the private Telegram channel. I'm doing a show Sunday at 5:00 p.m. Central Time and Tuesday 5:00 p.m. Central Time. And email me at chancemusic@yahoo.com for anything. Please, let's hold the phone calls down unless somebody's dying and you can't get by without my help. Because, man, I'm telling you what, I get called all the time, and most of it's silly stuff. I love you all. I want to help you all. And we got new members coming in every day. So let's all think with our heads and feel with our hearts and move forward in this together. I'm going to help you cross the finish line, and so is everybody here. Okay?
Yeah.
So I love you all, and I'm going to let you go because we've gone a half hour over. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Fascinating Brian. Thank you, Wyatt. And thank you, Doc G. I appreciate all your time, brother.
Always welcome.
God bless you all. Good night.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
everybody.